Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tutorium in Intensive English at the University of Illinois at Chicago. I'm Jordan, your grammar instructor. In my last lesson, we discussed the present perfect with regular verbs. So today, we'll be working on present perfect with irregular verbs. If you're not sure about what irregular verbs are, I recommend checking out my video on the simple past. In today's lesson, we will look at some example sentences with present perfect irregular verbs. We'll learn the grammar rules for this concept, and we'll practice a little bit. So first, let's see present perfect irregular verbs in context. Our first sentence, I have already gone home. Okay. Second sentence, Renee and Terry have bought new tie sweatshirts for the students. Thanks, Renee and Terry. Sentence 3, Debbie has given her university ID card to Jason before. Okay. Well, again, if you watched our last video on present perfect, we know, or you know, that the verbs in bold, the very, very dark words, that's the present perfect. So let's see what's going on here. For the first sentence, go becomes have gone. In the second sentence, buy becomes have bought. And in the last sentence, give becomes has given. So we're still following the same structure that we learned in the last video. We use the word have or has, and then the verb has changed to the past participle. But like we know with irregular verbs, sometimes these look completely different from the original verb. And it's kind of confusing to know how the verb might change, how it might look in its final form. Well, this one has the same rule as in the simple past video. Sometimes there is no rule, but there are tips for irregular verbs. So first of all, you'll need to practice and memorize irregular verbs. We have a resource on our site for you for that, if you're interested. I recommend learning the 10 most common irregular verbs. That way, you'll know the form of the ones that are most common, that you're using the most. Hopefully that's a little helpful. And as I said in our last video, if you learn a new verb, learn all 3 of its forms. So learn the base form or the infinitive, go, learn the simple past form, went, and learn the past participle, gone. Study all 3. That will help you in multiple ways. And again, this is similar to our simple past irregular verbs lesson. Go check it out. So finally, let's just practice a little bit with some irregular verbs. Why not? So, same thing as in our present perfect video. Ask yourself, what's the subject? Because that will tell you if you use have or has. And then lastly, what's the past participle? Let's try. So Katie already say that she is coming to the party. What's the subject? Well, Katie is the subject. So we have Katie. Katie is she, third person singular. She have or has? She have? No, she has. Okay, say in the past participle, said. Also notice the pronunciation, not said, said. Katie has already said. Okay, next. Debbie, Chris, and Sally didn't go to Tybalt on Taylor Street before. So we're going to try with negation or making a negative sentence this time. Okay, first, look at the subject. Debbie, Chris, and Sally. That's multiple people. They. Okay, they have or has. They have. How do I negate that? They haven't. And then the past participle go is gone. They haven't gone. Okay, let's try this again. This time with Nora. Nora didn't come to the office yet. Nora, one person. She, third person singular. She, have or has, how do I negate it? Has not, hasn't come. She hasn't come to the office yet. Okay. Our subject for this one, Rachel and I. What's another way to say and I? So someone else and I. That's we. So we have or has. We have, okay. Past participle of know. Known. Rachel and I, we have known about Trisha's surprise birthday party for weeks. Okay. Next one, you. You is our subject. You have or has. You have. Past participle of got. You have gotten. Some people say you have got. You can also say that. I say gotten. You have gotten really worried about your grades since failing your exam. Next, she just give her notes to her classmate. Subject, she, have or has. Do you remember? Has. Give, past participle, given. She has just given her notes to her classmate. Okay, next. International students at UIC. Okay, that's our subject. This is many people. They have or has. Have. Okay. Find past participle. Found. So international students at UIC have found job opportunities and internships while studying in Chicago. Okay. So my dad's think. What's the subject? My dad's. So that's two. That means they. Okay. They have or has. Have. Past participle of think. Do you remember this from simple past? My dads have thought. Thought is a tricky one. Thought. Think thought. Think thought thought. Okay, last one. He, see. Okay, what's the subject? He, that's one person. Third person singular. He, have or has. Has. What's the past participle of see? Seen. He has seen his parents twice per year since coming to study in Chicago. All right, that's all for today with irregular verbs. In our next video, we will talk about how to decide whether to use simple past or present perfect. So we'll get more practice with those time words. I know that can be a little bit confusing, but for now, practice with the structure. Remember to look at the subject, decide have or has, and study those past participles. I'll see you in the next video. Keep practicing and have a little fun.